Hey everybody, it's Greenwood again with another tutorial video. Today's video is going to be a continuation of our first solving square roots intro in tier 1. So just a reminder, you can watch that video to see all the info about that. So I highly recommend you do that if you need that first video. Here is our second video. So remember we solved for square roots, 2 solutions. So here we want to try and do a couple more examples for you. So with this one, there's actually a couple ways I can solve this one. But in general, if we can get the n squared isolated, that's going to be the best. I could square root both sides, then we're dealing with some negatives and stuff. So I like to divide both sides by 4 first. So that's going to leave me with n squared equals exactly 100. And then if I square root both sides, so square root of n squared, square root of 100, I remember that 10 times 10 is 100, so n is 10. And I'm also going to remember this is an n squared, so fundamental theorem algebra is not going to get me this time. Negative 10 is also a solution. It says negative 10 times negative 10 is 100. So just a reminder, we're writing our solutions as ordered pairs, just as we think about maybe graphing these at some point. So the solutions are 10 comma 0 and negative 10 comma 0. Okay. So we could square root both sides here and get 2n. 400 is probably not going to give us a real nice number for a square root. 20, yeah, I guess 20, 400. So then we get two cases. We get 2n equals positive 20 and 2n equals negative 20, and then we can solve, and we kind of get the same thing. So anytime we take that square root, we got to remember there's going to be two cases, a positive and a negative. Okay. Example 2 here, this is still part of a tier 2 type of problem like example 3. So we want to get this n squared isolated. So let's just subtract 7 from both sides. That'll cancel that 7 out nicely, and I'm left with n squared. 33 minus 7 is 26. Okay. Well, I remember last video we talked about, so 5 squared is 25, and this is more than that. 6 squared is 36, and it's less. So my answer should be between 5 and 6. So we will, oh, I forgot to even square root. Hold on. So we'll square root both sides, and that will give us our solution. So let's just get rid of that real fast. There's our answers from the last one. So we want square root of 26, and that's 5.099. And remember, we have two solutions, so we'll have 5.099, and we'll have n equals negative 5.099. And again, writing those as ordered pairs is nice, leads us to graphing. We'll just slide on over here a little bit. Solutions are 5.099, comma 0, and negative 5.099, comma 0. Well, you can already see there's going to be another example, can't you? Okay. So there's those first two. If you need to pause and take a peek at that, copy those down, but you are all set. Now let's look at a tier 3 type of problem. So more difficult, not really any more complex. We're still following our algebra rules and using the same theory or strategy to get us through there. So here's example 5. And so this one we've got a 10x squared minus 4 equals 246. So I'm thinking of solving this equation by adding 4 to both sides. So here's one example. So I get, that's not quite where I want that. 10x squared. 246 plus 4 is 250. So now this looks like a tier 2 problem. So we just had to do a couple of steps. So then if I divide by 10 here and divide by 10 here, I'm left with x squared equals 250 divided by 10. Cancel the zeros, 25. And so I remember 5 times 5 is 25. So I'm going to remember to square root both sides. And I should get x is 5. And x is negative 5. And then my solutions will be like this. Let's just drag that over there. Slide that up and over just a little bit. Okay, and now I think we're ready. So my solutions are 5, 0, and -5, 0. Okay, so there's a tier 3 type problem. You got to do a couple of steps, but really we just get down back to this x squared idea like we did in the tier 1, the most basic types of problems. So not really more complex, just more difficult, a few extra steps. And remembering that fundamental theorem of algebra tells us 2 solutions because it's second degree. Okay, that's all there is here, and I will see you in a later video. Have a good one.